Hi, welcome to my card and a cuppa for Wednesday the 15th of October 2025. My name's Denise McCabe and I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator in Australia on the New South Wales Central Coast, so welcome. I've just noticed that my emails come in saying that I've gone live, so if you're watching, jump on and say hi. It is, just after 2 o'clock, so I haven't gone the wrong hour or anything like that. So today it's our 12 weeks of Christmas and we're up to week 3. Hi Tanya, how are you? I'm well, thank you. Had a few good nights sleep. That always helps, doesn't it? Hi Barbara. So yeah, today's card and a cuppa and I'm doing 12 weeks of Christmas and we're up to week 3. So, and I'm going to use a sketch and some online exclusive products. So just a simple card. But you can use the same sketch for any kind of card that you make. It doesn't have to be Christmas. You can use it for anything. So let's go down to the craft desk. I've got my cuppa. I told everyone to have their cuppa. Let's go down to the craft desk and we can get started. Now, Margaret Gordon did say she might not be able to. Hi, Joan. Might not be able to watch because she was going to the dentist. That's always not a nice thing to be doing. Well, that's what I think anyway. Okay, so we're going to use the Bauble Blooms bundle. Oops, bring it down, Denise. The Bauble Blooms bundle from the online exclusive range. It's a small bundle. It's got a little tiny set of dies to go with it. And it's $62 here in Australia. Hi, Sheila. You're waiting for the jug to boil. Oh, there you go. I saw what you did with the Nutcracker kit collection. You made them into little easel cards, and I think that is just the coolest thing. I did comment on your post and said, I think I might have to try and case these, so I hope you don't mind if I do that, Sheila. So this is the set we're going to use today. It is in the online exclusive range. It's been around for a while. I think it was a couple of online exclusive releases ago. So, and this is the card sketch that we're going to use. So, really easy, and you know me, I've got metric and imperial on here. So this is the same size as a card base. So it's 10.5 centimeters by 14.9. Now, if you, well, I'm glad you feel honored, but no, they were great cards. I thought they're cool. I've made 4 of the Nutcrackers up in tags, but I thought I think you get 12 in the kit. But I did think I'd make the rest of them in to make them up into cards. So I'm looking forward to that. I can't remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, so this is just a standard card base, like size, 10.5 centimeters by 14.9. Now, I always like a matting piece on top of that, which the matting piece is always 10 centimeters by 14.4 or 14.3. But when I do up my little sketch designs for my box, I don't put a matting piece on because I know what I've got to do that. I just put like the focal point of the sketch on them. So these are little pieces of, you can have designer series paper, you can have cardstock, and this is where I've gone to imperial. They're 2.5 inches by 1 3/4, much easier in inches. And you just need 3 pieces, and then this is a 2.5 inch circle. And once again, your sketch is just to get you started. You don't have to follow it really strictly. You can go rogue, and I often do. So I thought I'd show you a couple of cards I just made up this morning. This one was using the Bauble Blooms stamp set and dies, but this one, it kind of got a little bit lost. I just cut out the Bauble in designer series paper, and it kind of gets a little bit lost. I think it doesn't sort of stand out, but that could be just me. And there's our little 3 pieces of 2.5 inches by 1 3/4, and I've run my matting piece through the motif, what's it called? The Damask Designs embossing folder. I don't know if you can see that. Let me. Hi Elizabeth. Oh no. Now time for a sit down. All right, well, sit down with your cuppa and you can just watch me for half an hour or so. Hi, Nicole. So I don't know if you can see, I've embossed that with that damask embossing folder. Sometimes those sorts of things don't show up very well. But yeah, I think the bauble sort of got a bit lost. I think I needed a bit more plain behind it rather than the pattern, but it's still nice. I haven't decorated the inside yet because I was just sort of making up a couple of samples. And this is another one I did, and just my 3 pieces of 2.5 inches by 1 3/4 inches, and this is exactly to the sketch, a 2.5 inch circle. And I used the Most Wonderful Time of the Year stamp from the Most Wonderful stamp set from the annual catalogue. And then I embossed it with a retired embossing folder. This is a really old one. It's a Stampin' Up one, but it's quite old. Hi, Lynn. It was called Holly, the Holly embossing folder. I don't know how old it was. How long ago, but it was even when we had the big shot, so it's quite a few years ago, but I hung on to this one. Hi, Jan. It's nice to see you live. Normally I see your comments after I've gone live. That's so lovely. You can't sleep? Oh, I had a few of those nights a couple of nights back, and they're not nice. It takes you a couple of days to get over them when you have a few, not good sleeps. Yeah, I hung on to it because I thought it's going to be a useful one every Christmas. So that's what I've embossed the back of this one with. So this one I didn't go really rogue. I just stuck to the sketch design, and I got a little holly branch to match the embossing folder, holly ephemera piece out of the Christmas Tags and More designer series paper. And I just stuck that in there. So that was minimal decoration on the inside. Hi, Marilyn. Oh, that's a bit strange, Marilyn. I have been watching a few other people on YouTube, and they're saying that YouTube's been doing some funny things. So I don't know. Yeah, very strange. I hope it doesn't do funny things for me because I'm not technical. I don't know how to fix things. So yeah, and I didn't go too rogue. I just sort of stuck to it. So this is the Seasons of Elegance Designer Series paper. That came out, I think it was last year, and it's in the online exclusive range. It's still available. It's still there. I did double check that. So it's a really good one because it's got the gold foiling in it. And a good one to have for Christmas, but you could use it any time of the year. Yeah, that's right, Barbara. Somebody said that names were all funny. It had like a little act symbol and something, and I thought, oh gosh. Anyway, maybe I should hurry because we don't want anything to happen. Oh, really, Elizabeth? How strange is that? Oh, they must be doing some update or upgrade or something. I hate it when they do that. It's like when your iPhone does an upgrade, like you plug it in, and I've got mine set for automatic updates, and you wake up the next morning and things have moved and you sort of think, ah. Oh, thanks, Nicole. I really like it when yeah, you can sort of see the paper just takes on a whole different effect, and you sort of think, that's quite nice. That was the holly one, the retired one, and this is the damask one. You can't really see it as well, I don't think. But both look really nice. And it just gives a little bit more pizzazz to the papers, I think. Oh, too far up. My camera's further down than I'm thinking it is. So that's our sketch for today. Now, I am going to use the Seasons of Elegance Designer Series paper. I've already got my little topper for my bauble die cut. And I'm going to use Basic Beige and Pretty Peacock. And I'm doing a 10-fold card because I don't know about you, but I like 10-fold cards. We've got those wooden Venetians in our lounge room and dining room. So this is the first house I've ever had where we've had like those wooden Venetians. And I love it because my Christmas cards just hang up on them. Jan is in the UK, so she normally watches me on replay, so she's having fun looking at all the comments. So I like 10-fold cards for that reason, because I mean, not everybody you send a card to, you don't know how they hang their cards up, but I like it. And then if you do like a portrait card, like this is a portrait card, if I hang that on my Venetian, it's going to be sideways. You see, like I'd be hanging it like that. So that's why I like 10-fold cards sometimes, especially at Christmas. Okay, so let's put now this one I put my papers all down a little bit too low, but it did give me space for my sentiment up the top. This one, obviously the focal piece was the sentiment, so I didn't need, and once again, there's more space there than down here, but I am going to try and put my paper centered on my card matting piece. Okay, so I'm thinking of going the Cherry Cobbler, the Basic Beige, and then the Pretty Peacock. And our back card base is Pretty Peacock, so I think that works quite nicely. I'm going to get my little silicone mat. I'm going to shuffle over in my chair. And I've got, little Rosie's in here with me, so hopefully she won't hear a dog or anything outside and start going off her chops. And I've got to tell you, I'm getting more well, no, maybe I shouldn't say anything, because maybe it won't work now I've said that, but I'm getting a little bit more used to the Stampin' seal. See, I shouldn't have said anything, should I? I do notice that if you keep going like that, it stays in place. Now I want to try and get it even top and bottom this time round, I think. So I'm going to put, so you just place it anywhere you like. I'm going to come down a little bit. And this one's going to come over a little bit because this one's going to go that away. So, and then we've got a Basic Beige one. Look at me go with the seal. And then this one I'm going to put heading that way and over the top. And like, you know, you don't have to be precise, you just put them where you want, pretty much. I do prefer the seal when I'm using gold foil stuff, because the glue, I'm turning that one round so I've got more of the gold foil over here because it might get covered up, so I want that showing. What was I saying? Yeah, I do prefer using the seal when there's more, when I've got gold foil a lot on my cards, or any kind of foil. I think I've said hello to everybody. Joan, I think I said hello to you. I can't keep track. Goodness, I've got so many people watching. I'm excited. Now, hopefully I've got those all straight. If not, I'll run it through an embossing folder and you won't be able to tell. So that is a matting piece that's going to go onto a card like so. And I'm going to get you guys to choose the embossing folder in a minute. But now I've got this piece here, and I'm going to do some stamping. I'm going to stamp the bauble this time. So because I'll have to then die cut it, I thought I'd do my stamping and then we can do the die cutting and the embossing. I'm going to put my little topper here. Okay, so I've got Pretty Peacock. I nearly threw that all over myself. And I'm going to get this one out. Now this is a 2-step stamp set. You know, I am going to lose that. I know I'm going to lose that. So these are like the leaves, and these are the flowers that go inside the bauble. So I'm going to do the leaves first because that gives me somewhere to hopefully line up my flowers. So, yep. Okay, so I'm just going to ink it up with Pretty Peacock. Just make sure. And I'll show you something else about this set. The die is quite a lot bigger. I'll re-ink that in a minute. Then the there's more space around the bauble than the stamped image. So make sure you allow for that. So I'm just going to ink that up again. What I'm trying to say is don't stamp real close to the edge because this die has a little bit of a gap from the stamped image. I'll show you when I'll just do it and then I can show you. Okay, so that's our greenery done. So let's just wipe that off. And I want to use the same block for my flowers. You can see I've used cherry cobbler on my flowers. Now I am going to do the outline ones first. And that's going to be in full strength cherry cobbler. So let's just make sure I've got that on my block properly. And I've got to try and not bring in my head into the camera. Now I'm just going to try and line that little dot up down here. That's, to me, the best way of doing it, I think. And you know what? If it doesn't work, we just turn it over and start again. He's hoping. Oh, and that was the solid one. Silly me. Well, that looks like what we're doing. What a goose. I didn't look at that properly, did I? Alright, I was going to, but that actually looks okay. I don't even know whether I should go over it with the outlines. Let's, because it's not going to show. What a goose. Okay, so let's see if Denise can line this up without bringing her head in. Some two-step stamps are really easy and others are just a little bit trickier to line up. I think I liked it better before. So guess what? This is what we do. Turn it over. And I don't think I'm going to worry about the outline, because that looked quite nice. It looked quite good. So let me close up cherry cobbler, because cherry cobbler can be quite dangerous. Let's just try this all over again. Two sides to every piece of cardstock. That's why we stamp. There we go. And I know what I'm going to do with the flowers. I know what I'm going to do. And it always looks really good when I've done it in the past. I know why I thought I had the outline one, because I put the solid one back on that instead of on that one. That's why I thought I had the outline one. Well, there you go. That'll pay attention next time, won't it? Not to worry. You love spring. You haven't stopped sneezing. I love spring, but yeah, some of the flowers do tend to get you a little bit congested or sneezy, don't they? Okay, I'm doing it again. So I just don't want to bring my head too far in though. You watch. I probably won't get it as well as I got it the first time. Just go for it. Yeah, that's alright. It'll have to do. It'll have to do. And I'm not going to do the outline this time. I'm just going to leave it. That's why I picked it up. Okay, so before I do that, I am going to bring in my wk3. Cambridge, I don't know where that is in the UK. I'm going to have to get, my map out and have a good look. I like painting these with the wk3 because the cherry cobbler ink does actually spread and move, and so it sort of gives you a chance to sort of colouring in any gaps if you are trying to line this two-step stamping up. But I've decided not to go two-step stamping. So I'll let that dry. Now what else do we want to do? So we've got to die cut that, and I'll show you. See, with the die, you put it, see how there's quite a lot of gap between the stamped image and the die cut? That's what I was trying to explain before. I didn't do a very good job at the explaining bit, but you know, that's okay. And now I am going to, I'm wondering if I can get my Merry Christmas on here. Oh, that says Happy Christmas. I'm just going to do Merry, and then I'm going to show you something else that you can do with a die. I'm going to do that in Pretty Peacock. I'm pretty sure that will fit. So let me just stamp that Merry. Oh. And pick up the Christmas and stamp the Christmas. That's pretty good. I'll go with that. And now I'm going to bring, oh no, I can't bring my little cut emboss machine in because I'm going to do some dry embossing as well. So let's get the big blunderbuss and bring that in. And we want to die cut our bauble, and I'm going to use the textured note die and die cut this, but then I'm going to put it back in and make it shorter. So, oh no. Oh, and you don't know what it is. Oh, you don't know what set you off. That's a bit sad. Now, what was I going to ask you guys to choose before we do that? What embossing folder would you like me to use behind it? The old retired holly one or the damask one? So while you're choosing the embossing folder, I'll get the cut emboss machine and we will start getting ready to do that. Oh, that was heavy. Okay, let's cut the bauble out because that's our focal piece. So instead of the 2.5 inch circle, I'm going to put the bauble on. But if you wanted to do a square or you wanted to do something else, let me just see, there we go. I'll do that first. So is there any preference for the embossing folder? Do you want the old retired holly one or do you want the damask one? If there's no preference, I'll make a decision. So there's our bauble, and then a little topper for our bauble's going to go here, and that's going to look quite pretty. You guys are funny. Okay, now I'm going to use the nested, no, I called this the nested essential dies the other day, I'm sure, and something, and I was wrong. I realised I was wrong, and I don't know if I've gone back and amended that. Where's my plate gone? The holly one, Tanya says. I really like the holly one, and there is a holly one available, it's just a little bit different. But I really like my old retired holly one. And it's very Christmassy, so why not like it? Okay, so that's that. I think I can pretty much chuck that away. Oh, Sheila says the holly one as well. Now, what I'm going to do, because I want this to be a little bit shorter, I'm just going to line this die up on my Merry Christmas at about here. That looks about right. I'm going to put it back down. Oh, did that move? It did. That was silly. Don't want it to move. I'll put it down first. There we go. I think my sticky's lost its stick. And I'm going to put it back in, and I'm just going to wind it through and then wind it back, and that will cut the edge piece. See it? Just cut that little bit off, and it made my die a little bit shorter. Pretty cool. Sometimes it doesn't line up. Sometimes it doesn't work, but I'm very glad it worked today. Now, we said the holly. Okay. So we'll just take out the number 2 plate. We don't need that because this isn't a 3D one. They didn't do 3D ones back in the day. And I'm just going to put that into my embossing folder, like so. And stay there. Which set was the sentiment die? The sentiment die, Tanya, was from the Bauble Blooms. It was 2 little words, Merry and then Christmas, and they also give you, I'm going to get rid of that because it's lost its stick. I'll show you in a second. They also give you like a happy, if you prefer to say Happy Christmas. I don't have a preference. I don't mind either Merry or Happy. I do have a lady that comes to my classes and she hates oh, the sentiment die. Oh, sorry. Textured notes. Sorry, Tanya. Thank you, Sheila. Yeah, it was from this one. I've got it already down here for my online class on Saturday. So that's that long one, which is a really handy one to have. It is a lovely set. But the sentiment itself was out of this Bauble Blooms. So these 3 stamps here are all separate stamps. So you can have Merry Christmas or Happy Christmas. So I just did the Merry. Okay, so let's... I wouldn't probably lose that bauble, but I'll put it back in just in case. Just in case. And this is really cool because it's so little and tiny. It fits into our stamp case. Although we are getting new stamp cases. Okay, so we didn't do the damask, we did the old retired holly one. And that's what it looks like when it's all done. And it really does nice things to the paper, doesn't it? I really like that. So let's bring our card base in. Let's bring our little bits and bobs over. And here. So I am going to put that onto my card base. I'm going to use glue. I know I'm getting better with my seal, but I'm still going to use glue for sticking this down. And I want the pretty peacock one at the bottom. I don't know why I do, but I just do. So I'm just going to hold that down while we... Oh, a little bit of glue spurtage. I have gone and bought myself some new baby wipes so I can do that baby wipe technique. It's a little bit more glue. Okay, so then I hope it's not too tone on tone. I hope the bauble stands out. I will put that away and I will get my little bit of seal on this. I think that worked, yes. And I will just put my topper on here. You can do that with we can do that, nobody knows. You can do that with glue dots if you like, but I'm persevering with my seal. I don't know where the lid went. Oh well, I'll find that later. And I hope that's not too tone on tone. Can you see the bauble? I hope you can. Okay, so let's put some dimensionals on the back. She's going along okay, Lynn. I think she's cut about 8 teeth now. She's a happy little Vegemite most of the time. She's just had a few really rough days with the teething, but she's going well. I got to spend the morning with them yesterday, and that was really nice. Now I'm going to put that there. I don't think this is getting lost. I think it's okay. I'm hoping it's okay. Shall I put it down further? Maybe I'll put it down further, and then my banner can be a bit more at the top. It can go across like so. Now I'm getting confused on where I want to put my sentiment. I think up the top. I think up the top. Don't you? Yes, let's put some dimensionals on that. I'll use the Bubba ones for this. Yeah, she's going well. She's just a happy little Vegemite. Squeals of happiness all the time. Which is so much better than squeals of unhappiness. I think I'll put that here. I think I'll put it across the top. What do you think? Top for the banner, balances the card. Thank you, Nicole. There we go. Then I'm going to get... You sort of lose the gold topper, don't you? But it's okay. I've got these, which might be nice. I might do the cherry cobbler ones. I'll put one down here because there's sort of some flush, flat pieces on this embossed piece of cardstock. I might put one over here. And where will I put this one? Good question. No. I'm going to put that one there, and I think I might move this one to where? Where will I move it to? That's not stuck properly. I'll have to fix that because that's going to annoy me. I'll move that to there, I think. Now, I'm not happy with that one there. Oh, lordy. Okay, I'm not happy with that. It's not stuck down properly. Let me just get a glue dot, and I'm just going to lift up my little banner topper. It's not stuck as well as at all. It's stuck to my fingernail now, but that's not where I wanted it. So I shall put two glue dots there, get it off my fingernail, and put it back here. There we go. I think that's better. Okay, so that's just an easy card from our sketch. And as I said, it doesn't have, that sketch design could be used for anything. It doesn't have to be a Christmas card. It could be anything. It could be any kind of card. Let me just, I'll put that away. And before I put anything, what does this one say? Joyous wishes to you and yours. That's quite nice. I like that. I'm going to put that in the middle. And you know, I'm going to do something I don't normally do, but I'm going to put it in the middle because I'm just going rogue. Thanks, guys. And watch this. I'm going to try again. I'm going to persevere. I'm getting better. It's just a matter of practice. Now, I could put a bow on it. I wonder if... Oh, don't put it in upside down. That wouldn't go so well. There we go. Does it need a bow? I don't have a pretty peacock bow. I've got old ribbon. I've got this old pretty peacock. And I think that's it. Otherwise, I've got this old faithful gold ribbon. No bow, Sheila? No bow? Okay, no bow. Good-o. Well, that's it. That's our card today. So let's see. These are a couple of other ones I did. They look quite different, don't they? But it's the same design. No bow, Joan says. Okay. No bow, Lynn says. Okay, I put a bow on that one, but that's different. So that was our sketch. That was the first one, following the exact sketch. Then I went a little bit rogue and just used the paper. And I like the way you can just cut paper out with the bauble die. And then this one was stamped. So that's our card today. So week 3 of 12 weeks of Christmas. So we are getting down to the pointy end of the year, aren't we? So there we go. That's our card. Really easy. So these pieces of paper are 2.5 inches by 1 3/4 inches. So 3 of those, and they could be cardstock that could be embossed and just put onto backing a matting piece of DSP. You could, switch it all around. Thank you, ladies. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you're having a nice day wherever in the world you are. And I will see you on Saturday. I've got an online class on Saturday at 2 p.m. We'll be making 5 cards using the Peaceful Garden Suite. So I will see you then. Now that one does go for about an hour and a half. So otherwise I'll see you for Monday, for Make It Monday. So thanks everyone. Have a great week. Bye for now.